Hi, thank you for joining me. In this episode, and in the next probably couple of episodes, I'm going to be sharing with you about what to ask a land seller for. If you're buying property, what do you need to ask the land seller for to make sure that you're in a safe zone? You're watching Own Land in Kenya. I'm Solomon Wangwe. So, only question is, are you buying from a company like Goshen Acquisitions, or are you buying from an individual? Because the process is a little bit different for both. So I'm going to share with you what to ask a land seller for if the land seller is a company. The first thing you will need to ask them for is a copy of their registration certificate, their company registration certificate. The reason you want to do that is to make sure that this is a legally registered entity in this country, so that you're not dealing with a con man or a con woman for that matter. The second thing you'll need to ask for, and this goes along hand in hand with the company registration certificate, is a company's PIN certificate, which will have details about their tax registration. Very important. The third thing you will need to ask them for is a memorandum and articles of association. This document is what stipulates shareholding. It'll list who the shareholders are, how much shareholding they have, who the directors are, and so on. And this is critical because you want to know who you're dealing with. Companies basically provide a shield, if you will. They're a mask that individuals put on in order to do business in a particular way relative to the government of Kenya. So if you're buying from a company like Goshen Acquisitions, it's important to know who is behind Goshen Acquisitions. If you find out that such an individual is maybe not of good reputation or is known for being involved in shady business before, you might make a different decision about buying from that company or not, I'm sure. So it's important that you ask them for their memorandum and articles of association. If any company that's purporting to sell land to you is not willing to provide these documents, and you can use your lawyer, your licensed lawyer, to ask for these documents, you just need to walk away, right? Very important, don't forget that. The other thing you're gonna need to ask for, along with those three, is what we call a CR12. A CR12 is a form that you get from the company registrar. It's basically like getting a search report for the company. It lists the most current registration of shareholders or directors and so on. Why is that important? Well, it's not uncommon for companies to change shareholding over the course of time. If I want to, for example, share or sell a piece of my company to an individual, an investor, they will pay me for the shares and they will be listed as a shareholder, which means the shareholding list has changed from when we first registered. It's important that you know what the current status is. If you only rely on the memorandum and articles of association, you will only be dealing with old information at the point of registration. But the CR12, which is a document you pay for at the company registrar's office, will list the most current directors and shareholders as by the last return, which is usually done at the end of a year. So please keep that in mind as you're going through the process of acquiring land from a company. Those first four documents are critical. I'll run through those again real quick. The first one is a company registration certificate. Second one is a PIN certificate. Number 3 is a memorandum and articles of association. Number 4 is a CR12, and that you would have to get on your own. I hope that information helps. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out through our Facebook page or send us an email at inquiry@goshenacquisitions.com. Our website, www.goshenacquisitions.com, will also have plenty of information for you to look into. Thank you for watching again. You're watching Own Land in Kenya, and I am Solomon Wangwe. Stay tuned for more information on strategic land investment.